That's here, it's getting shorter and shorter.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Delaware County Commissioners meeting. It is Monday, February 5th, 2024. Time is 9:03. If everybody could please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag, to the republic, Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. Brooke.
Here. Next, I'll entertain a motion for, the approval of the minutes for January 16th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Was that a table?
No.
Second.
Have a motion is second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we'll move to presentations. Fiddler Life Cycle 5-year extension. Jan Smoot.
Hi there, Jan Smoot, Delaware County Recorder, and this is just our contract renewal. It started originally back, the first one was signed in 2004, and then they're either 3 to 5 year renewal. And I really wasn't sure, and our project relationship manager asked this year if we needed commissioner signature lines added, so I wasn't sure, so I consulted John and Sherry, and they said yes, the contract should be seen by the commissioners. So this is just for renewal. It comes out of our perpetuation fund.
And the cost is $42,760.
42,755, yes, and
Oh, 65,
55.
55. Ours says 60.
Make a motion, we approve the agreement.
Second.
Have a motion is second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have the 2024 JAG grant. Captain Johnson.
Good morning.
Morning.
Tony Johnson, Delaware County Sheriff's Office. I'm here to present the 2024 County JAG grant that we got. This is a joint partnership with the City of Muncie that we get every year. It pays for increased patrols throughout the county. I generally use it to help with the fair every year, help offset the cost of security for the fair. So I'll need an ordinance created for that, I believe. And I asked for, to suspend the rules for the second reading, if that's possible.
This is same thing we do
Same thing we do every year, that's correct.
And 20.
Need a motion and a second.
There is no ordinance.
Introduce it.
I make a motion, we approve the, grant application.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Can this wait till next meeting for?
Yes, it can.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll have the ordinance for next meeting,
Okay. All right.
Thank
You
you.
want me to hold on to the check and bring it for that meeting?
Do you have a, JAG grant now? And are you required to have a separate fund for each JAG
Separate fund
grant
for each
every year?
account, yes, sir.
Okay.
You'll create another fund for it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we have a supplemental agreement. Kylene Schwackhammer.
Good morning, Kylene Swackhammer from the Plan Commission. Last year we had an agreement for contractual services with our former principal planner, Hugh Smith. So I am just coming again to see if we can extend that and renew that contract for this year, for him to come into our office and help just kind of on an as-needed basis. Last year, he came in for a total of 103 hours. Just a reminder that this is paid from our comp plan and not county general. And this is 80% reimbursable, so.
And he's helping so much just to get your office
Just gonna
lined
help
up.
training and help assisting and showing us.
We appreciate him coming out of retirement to
Absolutely, we do. I make a motion, we approve the grant.
second.
Have a
I have
motion.
reviewed this agreement, so it's the same that we've had in the past. Okay?
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Thank
Next,
you.
thank you. Next, we have, Alcon Consulting Contract. Carrie?
Good morning, Carrie Dye, County Highway. So we have a contract I emailed commissioners and John Brook. It has to do with the refund of our fuel tax that we pay. I have Daniel Vaughn from Alcon here if you would like to talk with him or if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm sorry, we didn't know about it sooner, yeah.
Right, so this would be our first year. He's gonna make, our first submit to them. Also, he's been in contact with Mike and Megan, so hopefully we can get EMS on board as well.
Good.
Carrie and I learned of this down at the Commissioner Conference.
Yes.
So it was, a good, I think it'd be a good deal. I make a motion, we approve this contract.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie, for working on that.
Next, we have the scoping period amendment to, Mr. Brook.
Yes, this is a, agreement with, Justice Partners, which is the contractor for the mental health facility. This is to increase the scoping of the design work for the mental health facility. When the mental health facility was expanded and the options, then this is to cover that, this as a standalone facility.
Well, it's always been a standalone, and I just,
No, it hasn't. Actually, it was originally supposed to be part of the Justice Center.
well,
which is
that
what
was
the-
months ago, and I thought we'd already have paid something like
We
this.
we had paid some of that, but this is also to talk about the expansion possibilities in the future, because we now have both Randolph County and Henry County
Right.
judges that have indicated that they're supportive of this. And there also were some changes that the, mental health consultant wanted on some of the interior design, so it could be licensed by the state. Those were important, that's what changed some of these prices on this particular scoping agreement.
And I know Jay County, they're wanting to get involved in this also.
Yes, I've heard from, at least one of the commissioners up there that said that they're interested in this facility as well.
I make a motion, we approve Amendment 2.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have scoping period amendment 3. Mr. Brook?
This is a addition because there is an issue that has come up that we've had some discussions with the sanitary district about providing sanitary sewer service for this particular facility. I know the county's had meetings with the sanitary district about this, and one of their solutions was to put a septic system on site. And there's some work that needs to be done on whether that we can tie into the existing sewer system. And this is to help design that septic system, which would also cover possibly the Justice Center, because that supposedly is taxing some of the, lines out there, as well as Isaiah House, which is gonna be across, Tillotson from this.
Could we table this? I wasn't in on any meetings, and
I was, I mean, everything
Well, I'm
John,
sure you
John
were,
said
but,
was correct. Once the sanitary district doesn't feel like at this point they can, take that, sanitary from the house, nor the new rehabilitation facility. The Justice Center's taken, a lot of room in that system out there. I'll make a motion, we approve the amendment.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Reagan.
No.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we'll move contractor's agreement with, Brooks Construction. Andy?
Good morning, Commissioners. At our last meeting, we received 3 bids for the paving of County Road 350 North. We reviewed the bid packet and we recommend to award to the apparent low bidder, First Brooks Construction, for a grand total of $700,117.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Commissioners, do you want to talk about, the material bids as well that we did with, Brooks Construction?
Did we receive anything on that?
Your tabulation sheet.
In the past, haven't we just approved all
Yes,
material bids?
we have approved, in the past, all material bids, and we would like to do that this time, except for the fuel bid. We would like to rebid that out.
The reason being on that is there was no one local that bid on that. And the place that got the bid, the only person that put a bid in, they will not deliver on an emergency basis through the wintertime or even in the summertime. And we've had issues in the past about situations like that. So some of the locals did not realize it was being bid on, so if we rebid that, we're gonna have to try to find someone local that can do the emergency stuff, because
How big is our tank?
I don't know the exact gallons, but when we're out for, 48 hours and.
Well, yes, but I would think that we would have some kind of a gauge on it.
It happens where there's an emergency, we need fuel on an emergency basis. And, I don't feel like this will be good for the county highway department.
So you're requesting we approve the material bids with the exception of the fuel, correct?
Exception of, yes. Like I said, we've had problems in the past with this, where you have to give up at least 7 days' notice. And with that given, sometimes they weren't here for 3 weeks, so.
I'll make a motion, we approve the material bids with the exception of the fuel.
Second.
Motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you'll rebid the fuel,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
You're rejecting what they've done is they've rejected the fuel bids,
Correct.
and you're gonna rebid the fuel.
Yes, it was advertised, the first advertisement was January 31st. The second one will be February 7th. They're due on the 16th at noon, and we will open them on the 20th.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next, we have a comprehensive financial plan. This is something that I got with, the auditor's office and talked to them to see about Baker Tilly coming in and doing a comprehensive plan of all of our finances, for the county general, the edit, the Cume Bridge, health, local roads and street, lit, MVH, motor vehicle, and statewide reassessment. I would like for us to be better prepared when council goes into their budget hearings. Last year, the commissioners had to give up $1.2 million in interest so the council could make their budget, so nobody actually lost their jobs last year. I would just like for them to go in and dig into our finances, see where we're at. Sort of look at what we're looking at for 2025. That way we don't go into this again, because, the last few years we've had CARES Act money, we've had ARP money to help us out. And like I said, last year was interest from ARP dollars that could possibly not be here this year to use. So I want to be on top of everything and to make sure that we have the funding. So, we're not in the same position, because I'm afraid if we don't have that money next year to give to the council out of the interest, there could be a possibility that county employees could lose their jobs. And I want to be better prepared next year, working with the council to get through next year's budget. John, do you have anything to add? Because I know you work with us also on this.
This is in the past, the commissioners have retained Baker Tilly to do some income projections, for the council for the last 5 years, I think it is, to, help them with income projections for the county from edit, Lowit, also from, some of the property tax revenue that is to come in according to what the state has, because the state has many different methods for calculating this. So
Yeah.
Baker Tilly has helped the county out the last 5 years. This is a broader, more comprehensive review, than before. And so I think this is a good thing, because it helps ratchet up the information the council has and the commissioners have on budgeting and income for the future.
Mr. Carroll, it says the client will identify a member of their staff. Then I'm sure you're our go-to person, so you're okay with this?
Yes.
To be our,
Yeah, it could be beneficial to your office. as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've talked to Baker Till a couple different times on this subject already.
when do you think they could, finish it up, though?
They're estimating 60 to 90 days to have a comprehensive plan completed.
Okay, that's not bad.
I'll make a motion, we approve, the comprehensive financial plan with
Second.
Baker Tilly.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes. Next, we have Resolution 2024-001, Resolution of Delaware County, Indiana Board of Commissioners concerning real estate by the county.
This is Mr. President, this is a address on 1700 East McGuire. I've been working with, the property owner, Mr. Brook, on. I would request that we table this. Right now, we're still waiting on some information from the Planning Commission, and Angie's also been working with us on this, so. John, is that okay?
Yes, oh, absolutely. We're waiting some information about right-of-way, need for this part of the road, so.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to table the resolution. Ed, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes. Next, we'll move to department heads and elected officials.
Hi there, Jan Smoot, Delaware County Recorder, and I just wanted to share that I attended a press conference last week in Franklin, Indiana, and Johnson County. That the Indiana Recorders Association is just trying to be proactive and get the message out about fraud, property fraud, and it's really not as big a problem in Indiana as some other states because of recording laws and tighter notary requirements. But you've seen the commercials on TV, I'm sure, where there's like a service that you can pay for. But our software company, Fiddler, one of the things that they do provide for our county is a free property fraud alert. And I brought some brochures that I thought I would set out that people can pick up. You can sign up by text, phone call, or email. It's very easy. You just sign up by like first, last name, and whichever contact information you choose. And then you get an alert anytime a document's recorded in our county with your name. And it could be a deed, a mortgage, power of attorney. It doesn't just have to be a deed, but it does work. I personally had signed up, and I did have some documents recorded in January, and within hours, I got my alerts. I signed up all three ways. You can sign up one way, all three ways, and it gives you the document number, the date it was recorded, and the type of document. So it is a really good tool, just for people to use if they're interested in that. And if you don't want to sign up yourself, we're glad to help in the recorder's office if you want to call or stop by, and we can help get you signed up also. Yeah.
Denise will need a copy for.
Oh, yes. Denise is signed up too.
Yep.
Yes, and it works, doesn't it?
For our
Denise?
record.
Yes. Yes. All right. Thank you.
Yes. Copy that for the minutes.
Morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeff Hanser, Chief Probation Officer, Delaware County. I'm here today to update the Commissioners on a project that a group of us, both in and without government, have been working on kind of the past few months since the last fall. This is called a Community Connect app. And what this is an app that a former Department of Corrections employee, her name's Laura Taylor, she lives down in southern Indiana, but she was a regional director for reentry programs out of DOC, kind of recognized the need for a one-stop shop, if you will, where folks can get enrolled for whatever service they need. So she kind of created this app, and we've been having some meetings with her via Zoom the past few months. I myself recognize that need. I've been working in this field about 25 years, and one of the biggest challenges and barriers we have, and I don't think it's just in Delaware County, but I think this is in other jurisdictions, is that there's a lot of good agencies doing a lot of good work, but everybody's very compartmentalized and not coordinating and working together. And this app kind of solves that problem to some extent, in that an individual that needs assistance, they could be an individual on probation, it could be an average citizen, it could be somebody coming out of jail as part of a re-entry process. They can fill out some very cursory information on the front end of this app, and I've passed around, there's a QR code that you scan, and it's being passed around. You just scan the QR code, you fill out your information, you check the areas where you need assistance. It could be substance abuse treatment, it could be housing, it could be food, it could be a job. It's very individualized. So once the person checks what they want help with, it submits referrals to all of those agencies, whereby the individuals at those agencies that are responsible then follow up with the individual that submitted it to get them in for an appointment. One of the biggest barriers, we certainly have in the probation departments, we have someone come in and they need help, and we tell them, well, here you go, to this place for food assistance, you go to this place to sign up for housing assistance, so we put it back on the individual when they may or may not really be in a place where they're able to follow through at level. I think kind of some of the recent stuff that's went on at the Muncie Inns kind of highlighted the need for solutions such as this, that, you could go out with this QR code and have individuals, most folks have a smartphone, they could scan it, you could help them fill it out, and they can get enrolled for assistance without having to do a lot of legwork. There's a lot of application in public safety, law enforcement world, where, yourselves as law enforcement officers understand, they go out on calls, and there's a lot going on in these homes and these situations in the community that's may or may not be a law enforcement issue, but if you encounter a family, an officer encounters a family that needs help with a problem, scan this code. Here's a card with the code on it, and there's folks that will follow up and help you. So I'm very impressed with it. I've been to 3 or 4 meetings about this so far, and the last time we met was about a week ago. And I think at this point we're at a position where we want to try to get this app deployed and get it operational. We're trying to get community partners. I think it's a good role for government in terms of coordinating and helping to facilitate conditions to make services more accessible for the citizens. So the cost up front, $12,800 to that gets us the app build out, plus 50 hours of Laura's time to help. We're going to have to do data entry to put the agencies that want to take part in this. We have to put that in the app and build it out. But we've committed to the probation department to help with that process, with the data entry piece. I have some part-time staff that should be able to help with that. But I think it's pretty important. We're working with the city as well to try to get some funding. So I just want today to bring it to the commissioner's attention and encourage commissioners to partner with us on this project, be that to undertake the whole cost or at least commit in spirit, and we can work out maybe some of the details. And I've got some information, maybe even do a more thorough presentation at the next commissioners meeting if you so please as you.
We're always committed in spirit, it's just the money part that we have.
Same, yeah, exactly. I think for the cost benefit of this is another a way to leverage technology to kind of help us at a scale. So we're always looking for creative solutions and cost-effective solutions, understanding our financial.
Is there any grants available, do you know?
I'm sorry,
is there any grants available for something like that?
There probably would be for sure. Grants are kind of a double-edged sword. We always go after grants and apply for them. We get some and we get shot down on some. So it's always kind of a little bit of a tricky game, but right now we're just trying to cobble together the funding, the initial $12,800. So if the commissioners would like to be a part of that in some way, we appreciate that.
What's your deadline? When do you need yesterday?
We'd really like to get get it going by probably March 15th or so. The Ides of March is always kind of a good deadline, I guess. No pun intended, but probably by mid-March for sure at the latest. But as far as the cost benefit, again, it's really a lot of, I feel like a lot of bang for the buck. It serves a lot of needs that we have in the community.
I was thinking our edit plan needs to be maybe readjusted. John, do you have any thoughts on that?
I can take a look at that, absolutely.
Yeah, get back with you maybe next meeting.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, we have other, folks that have been part of this process, talking to some other entities as well. So, we'll come back, to the next commissioners meeting and have a little more thorough update, maybe an exact number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the report.
All right, thank you.
Rick Cummings from 911. I sent you guys last week an addendum to a contract. We have a standing contract with British Strategic Services. I'm requesting permission to sign the addendum to update the staffing study for the 911 center.
And you have funding for that.
Yeah, it comes out of the 911 fund out on contractual services.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hold on, sir. This is for the department heads and elected officials. See no one else? Everybody received their report for weights and measures? Yep. We'll move on to payment of claims in the amount of,
can we get a copy of that addendum for that contract?
yeah, we'll get it to you.
All right, get it to you, yep.
Next we'll move to the payment of claims of $2,707,639.08.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
I'd like to, I'm dating myself, but when I started here years ago, Ed, are we sending out all the expenses to the individual departments after every pay? There used to be a report that would go out printed, but now, but I don't believe our office is receiving it.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
It's an expense report.
You're talking about the county cash position report?
No,
Oh, okay. Oh, the expenses that,
after every pay, each department should be receiving what their expenses are to make sure the check got cut properly. Yeah, so I know your staff is so short right now, and I apologize to add any more burden, but
Sure, bring it on.
but it's because I look at the claims.
Right.
And then I say something to a department, and that department wasn't aware of payment. So we just want to make sure, be accountable. So maybe when you get a new person in a position, you could train them and, yeah, the cash report's wonderful. We all look at that, but we need those expense reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you.
Mr. Cummings, would you like to step up now?
Good morning. My name
Morning.
is Homer Cummins. I live at Rorton, Indiana, and there was just a ordinance passed, 2024-001, closing off part of an alley between the houses. I give some of you people some pictures and stuff, and what's happened, the guy was asking to have the alley closed, run an ad in the paper, doesn't, it's supposed to be legal according to law, but I was always under the opinion that all the neighbors along the alley was supposed to be notified. Well, I don't take the paper, he don't take the paper, and most of them people out there don't take the paper anymore since it went to the internet, news went to the internet. So basically, when this ordinance was passed, it basically landlocked him. He can't get in his backyard, period. He lives on Rorton Road, he can't get in his backyard, period. I'd like to, I don't know whether you can do anything about this ordinance, back it down, or do another ordinance or not. I'd like to also see some kind of an ordinance passed where all the neighbors along the alley can be notified, because you could get a person on the end of this alley, but get close up, person on the other end of this alley close up. this poor old vet guy in the middle here, he don't take the paper and he don't take the internet and he's closed in. You know, that's things that can happen.
Yeah.
So I'd like to propose something to put in addition to this thing where you notify all the people on the alley. And he's got it barricaded. It's got, Gary Benedict, I have no qualms against Gary. He's a good, hard-working guy, but he loves owning land. He basically went in there and closed that thing off, and he accused this guy of making ruts, and if you look at the picture, there's no ruts out there. I've lived out there for about 41 years I've lived there. There's never, ever been an issue. It would sure been nice if we'd have been notified, we could have come up here and said something, you know. Like I said, I'd like to make some kind of a proposal
Yeah.
to add it to notify all the neighbors on that alley. The alley wasn't too bad till that Miller Pipeline come through, started digging ditches. They left big old muddy messes out there. I mean, I had a guy come out there and got hung up. I mean, he got flat hung up in there, and then they had another SUV come through, and he got hung up, big old Suburban. So it's a bad deal, and I think a couple of these guys are gonna come out there and take a look at it. But I'd just like to see something added. It's a state law. I know it's a state law that you're supposed to come up and notify your neighbors, you know, but not all the neighbors. It would have been nice had he went down and asked all these neighbors, say, hey, is this gonna bother you if I close this alley up? But he didn't. So, you know.
You know, I do apologize, because I remember when I had become a commissioner, we had an issue out there, and Miss Moody went with me, and it was a farmer that brought his hay wagon in to feed the horses through an old vacated property. And so Miss Moody explained back that the rule is you just notify the neighbors, not every neighbor. So John, I don't know, that'd be hard to correct, or?
That's a state statute that we were following, or at least the neighbor was following. The legislature established what the procedure was for vacating an alley. The commissioners can't change that from the statute. That's a legislative prerogative. So, I mean, unfortunately, I don't disagree with the gentleman, but unfortunately, the law says you only have to notify the people that are affected by it, which was the people on the other side of the alley. That portion of the alley, not the whole alley, because the whole alley wasn't vacated.
Right.
Just that section of those two lots.
Yeah, and I spoke to Mr. Cummings, Friday and again this morning, and myself and Tom Burt, we're gonna go out there as soon as this meeting's, and we're gonna look at the alleyway that's left and see if there's somehow we can work something to where this man can get back in there to get his mower and everything else back through there. So
There's a large roadway right away, Lot Street, L-O-T-Z Street.
Yeah, but it's all muddied up too, and there's no way of getting through it. Just absolutely no way, you know.
But if that's still part of the alleyway.
No, that's an addition to Lot Street. That's a street. Matter of fact, I was gonna buy it one time. I thought it was an alley. And I come up here to buy it, and he said, no, that's not an alley, that's a street, you can't buy a street, so I just give up on it.
Well, if that's a street, we could still go in there and do something and possibly gravel that area back in there.
To give them
where
access.
it's not rutted, to give them access to get back, but that's what me and Tommy's gonna go out there and take a look at.
But I'd like to, is there any way you can make an ordinance, an addition to the state law? I mean.
Well,
we can't overrule a state law.
So I'd have to get a hold of the state legislature and have them change, because that's an old law. I think it's enacted back in 1963.
Sir, what we can do is Miss Moyer here, our engineer project director, she can be notified of such a, and then go out and talk and kind of scope it out, Angie, and see what the best solution is, because we did fail to get her involved, and I apologize.
I'd appreciate anything. I know Delaware County is a big county, and I know they're really, really busy, but we'd appreciate it if there's anything you can do.
We'll do better.
All right, thank you.
That's the best we can do. Thank you.
Next, Mr. William Paget.
I'm William Paget. I just bought the property in June, and with the access of the alley, I didn't figure I have any issues. But up front, by my house, I only have like 52 inches to get into my backyard. And my driveway dips off right into the neighbor's yard. And on the other side of my house, I can't even get a push mower through there because of my, central air unit. So I have boats, I have campers, I have 4 vehicles, and, I just have no way to get back in there to access the rest of my property without a way to get in there. The west section of it goes out to the highway. And the only other part that's left is between Homer's property right there.
What's your address, sir?
1716 East Rorton Road.
He was number 69. Yeah, could keep on.
And, it's all I can do just to get my zero-turn mower through there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, without hitting my garage or anything, I gotta be very careful. But I do have stuff back there in the back, and then just like for later, you know, if I start to build something, anything like that, it'd be nice to have some, you know, be able to get through there. No, I don't take the paper. But, yes, if we could look at that and just get something done, you know, whether it's the west side, where that's blocked off, whatever, or, oh, got it backwards, west side or the east side.
Okay.
Okay, all right, well, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, Daniel J. Vaughn. Next, Real Black Excellence.
Good morning.
Morning.
Everyone. This is just a brief update, just for communication purposes. I'd like to tell you some of the things that we're doing, just by way of review, very quickly. I understand I have 3 minutes to do so. We have recently been cleared through the YOC, of course they have their security clearances, cleared through the YOC because of a lack of funding, then we simply volunteer. And part of the purpose of that is to mentor as well as teach the young people about community, about their history. And so we are very excited about that. We're going to be impacting, we trust, everyone that's involved, anyone that they allow us to teach there. Also, I want to say that part of the mentorship is dealing with the arts and music and what is good music. With young people, there's all kinds of music out there. There's some music that is not good. And so part of our program is even understanding your history and what exactly is good music. Now that flows in wonderfully to the concert. We're also communicating with the individuals there, and they have the ability to allow about 100 or so, we'll take as many as they can have, to actually come to the concert as a good segue for us to enter into that teaching of the history. I think it's wonderful. Also, the county schools, with your support and partnership, the county schools, we've also separated 100 seats for those that are artistically minded, whether they be staff or whether they be students, that could actually change someone's life just from one night of participating in the arts. Lastly, I'll mention that money is always an issue. I kind of chuckled when you mentioned about the willingness of spirit, but the money was kind of funny to me. Money is always an issue, and you have no shortage of people coming to you, I'm sure, in your position asking for money and support. We are no different. We've done that as well. But it's one thing to ask for money and support, and it's another thing to be able to provide a plan that will create money, that will actually create community, create tax revenue, create jobs and employment. And right now we are in serious negotiations, what I call serious negotiations. Nothing's finalized, but for the bringing in, and you'd be aware of all this, Bill's here, and for the bringing in of manufacturing and jobs. Also, we have a projected goal that is possibly able to bring in 200 to 300 jobs within the next 3 years. And so I'm being very brief just because of the limit on time, but we are in fact working toward bringing money in as opposed to simply just requesting money, because that's also a part of community. Lastly, I'd like everyone from Real Black Excellence that's here to stand up. It's a larger organization than this, but I think these young, wonderful and beautiful people need some recognition. Our mission is to assist any organization, business, individual, or family how to function as a community, which includes employment. I'm asking to keep standing because my time's almost up. Which includes employment, bringing in employment opportunities and tax revenue and public safety. It includes all of those things. We have so many people and programs and good people and sincere people, but how exactly to function as a community, how exactly do we work together? That is largely unknown. I wish I had more time, but I want to honor you and just have a seat. But Real Black Excellence, these are wonderful. Some are not here because we have jobs, but these are wonderful individuals, and these are the things that we're providing. We want to make you aware. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support of the concert. I hope all of you are coming. Everybody's invited. If you don't have the money, come talk to me. You'll get in free.
What's the date? What's the date again?
Oh, the date of the concert. It's actually the 16th. 16th of February, Valentine's Day weekend. I'm sorry? Oh, it's at 7 o'clock. It's Cornerstone Center for the Arts. Kurt Whalum. If you don't like jazz, he'll make you like it. If you go to that concert, you'll like it after that. So we're just thrilled to be here. We want to be a viable part of the community. We feel like we fill a gap that has been needed to be filled for a long time. And we're just happy to be working together. And thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, David Williams. Or Mr. David Williams. If not, I entertain a motion to recess.
So move.
Second.
Ed, can you call the roll?
Ms. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes,
Ms. King.
Yes, gonna recess.
very good.